The movie begins with Mabel, a teenage girl who grew up with her grandmother, Tanaka. Her grandma always believed that Mabel is the only person who can bring positive change to save the wildlife. Then we meet a mayor who's loved by the people. He decides to build a new highway by wiping out a local forest. That's the same forest where Mabel used to play as a child, and now she wants to save it at any cost. The movie quickly brings you to the part where Mabel finds a way to transport her mind into a robot beaver named Hopping, all for the sake of exploring the wildlife. So that's where the main story kicks off. Mabel decides to explore the forest and the wildlife while being able to communicate with the animals. We see many different characters like King Beaver, Tom the Lizard, and Loaf. But the main villain who appears in the movie is Titus, who is the son of the Insect Queen. In the movie, his mom is officially dead by mistake, and that's when he decides to take revenge on everyone. His main goal is to take control over the entire ecosystem, which I'll show you in the final fight as well. Meanwhile, Mabel explores the forest with the King Beaver, and she makes a plan to visit the mayor in an attempt to convince him to change his plan for destroying the forest. Now, before you ask, let me tell you that the mayor is not the real villain here. He's using some loud and fake explosion noises behind the trees to scare the animals off, so he can present it like an abandoned forest and pass the bill for making more highways. Mabel's plan to explain everything to the mayor fails, and at the same time, Titus has made a whole plan by building his own insect army to take revenge on humans and gain full control over the remaining wildlife. The question is, what happens at the end? Now that Mabel failed to explain anything to the mayor, Titus takes charge and decides to kill the mayor. The second half of the film brings an epic moment where the mayor is about to die. However, Mabel is the one who ends up saving the mayor from the insect attack. And that's when the mayor understands the real meaning of the beaver's words and the environment itself. Soon he ends up changing the project and canceling the mission to cut down the forest. However, this wasn't enough for Titus, and he proceeds to fight everyone. He has already taken control over the animal council, and somehow he finds out about the hopping technique. So in easy words, he tries to force the scientist to make a robot with the face of the mayor himself, so he can hop into it for full access to human tools and technology to plan a mass attack. So what happens in the final battle? Now finally, Titus hops into the body of the robot mayor, and he runs in a weird way because Mabel is chasing him. Luckily, she scratches off the face of the robot mayor and blocks Titus's attack on the real world. Mabel confronts him in the core of the insect base. And if you don't know, it's the same place being used to launch an attack on the real world. We see so many traps during the chase scene, as well as tons of insect soldiers. Somehow, Mabel manages to make her way into the central control room, where Titus appears on a high platform. Mabel tries to convince Titus and explain why he shouldn't think about killing humans, but instead they can live together in harmony. But as expected, Titus refuses and activates the attack system. The final battle begins with Mabel dodging the attacks while looking for a way to reach the central control panel. During the final moments, Mabel is cornered as the system begins its countdown to trigger a mass attack. But luckily, Mabel charges right toward Titus and manages to activate the device that allows her to return to her human body. She uses the last bit of control she has to shut down the entire attack system. And while Titus tries to stop her, Mabel manages to turn it off. King Frog comes at the right time, and he's the one who quickly eats the insect prince Titus, ending him completely. Yes, he's now dead. However, at the same time, the forest begins to burn down from explosions in the insect base. Millions of lives are in danger, and that's when we see the real power of the animal kingdom, where multiple animals come together to stop the fire. We see birds trying to bring water, Mabel working with everyone else to find a way to stop this wildfire. The consequences are really high, because not just the forest, but nearby buildings, cities, and houses are also at high risk. Overall, the whole sequence is really heartwarming, because we see so many cute animals working together, and showing how a united kingdom can always save countless lives. As if fate listened to them, rain begins to fall at the right time, saving everyone. So yes, the forest is safe, and so is the animal kingdom, with Mabel and everyone else. We see her standing there, as the animals show deep respect for the teenage girl, who not only stopped the mayor, but also defeated an evil insect prince who was going to kill humans and rule over the animal kingdom itself. That's how Hoppers ends. But there's more. What happens in the mid-credits? Now that Mabel has saved the forest and the animal kingdom, while securing a good friendship with the mayor himself, the movie ends on a really happy note.